I'm Harrison Graham. Here's what's coming up on Bears Now. Are the Bears not going to re-sign Teven Jenkins? Insider says he thinks that's the direction it's going. What about Keenan Allen? Could he be back next year, or is he going to walk as well? And Caleb Williams chasing history, both with the Bears and a certain NFL record. Let's dive into all that here on today's show. But before we get there, it's almost over, baby. This devastating season has almost come to an end. If you're ready for the offseason, if you're ready for these final 2 games to come and go, hit that like button because, let's be honest, we need the offseason to get here. All right, let's start with Teven Jenkins and his status moving forward. Brad Biggs wrote in his column today with the Tribune and also hopped on 670 The Score saying he does not believe that the Bears will re-sign Teven Jenkins, saying, quote, "Don't believe they will be inclined to attempt to re-sign Teven, who left yesterday's game with a calf injury. He's been on the injury report with 5 different body parts this season. I just think he needs a fresh start elsewhere." And it's kind of crazy. A guy who had a back issue coming out of college, it's one thing if that's something that would pop up every once in a while. This year alone, he's been on the injury report with a thigh injury, ribs injury, ankle injury, knee injury, now a calf injury. That's pretty remarkable when you think about it, and that's with the back and neck issues already being a thing. And when you start talking back and neck with an offensive lineman, that doesn't usually go away. That will probably pop back up at some point. And it's unfortunate because Teven plays with a violence that I like. He's a really good player. He's not an all-pro, but he's an upper echelon guard in this league. But the reality is he just cannot stay on the field. And I give him credit this year in particular. He's tried to play through a lot of these injuries. He's only missed 1 full game where he was inactive for that week, but he's left 5 other games, and as Biggs noted, in none of those games did he play more than 75% of the snaps. So in a lot of these games, he's leaving early and he's not returning. We saw it on Sunday. He was limping through warm-ups. He started the game, and by the end of the first quarter, he was done. It just, his body is betraying him, and it's unfortunate. And it's one of those things, when you start having the injury bug and it starts spreading and different parts of your body start breaking down, you typically never, you're not going to wake up one day and play 17 games the next year. This is probably just what you're going to get with Teven Jenkins. He's going to give you, when you add up all the snaps, 12, 13 games worth of snaps. He's not playing all 17. He's just not. So, look, if you can get him on a team-friendly deal, maybe it's $6 million base, incentives up to $10 million on a 1-year deal, I like Teven. I'd be open to bringing him back, but if you know you're only getting 12 full games out of him, I just don't know how you pay, top-tier guard market. We saw guards get $20 million per year last year. Now, I don't think he'll get that on the open market given the injury, but teams get desperate in the NFL. I could see some lower tier team like the Patriots who are trying to rebuild that offensive line for Drake May being hey, we'll give you 3 years, $40 million, 13 a year. That wouldn't shock me. So I don't think the Bears will go that route. I think they'll be open to a team-friendly 1 or 2 year deal, but I just, given his injury history from day one here, it doesn't feel like it's over. It doesn't seem like they're going to bring him back. Until he's gone, there's always a chance, but I would guess that that's going in the other direction. What say you? Should the Bears re-sign Teven Jenkins? Type Y for yes, type in for no. Again, I'm not completely shutting the door on it if the price is right, but if I had to guess, I don't think he'll be back. Y for yes, in for no. Give us your thoughts. What about Keenan Allen? I've been pretty hard on him this year, and I think rightfully so. He's had a down year in terms of some drop issues. Certainly, he was never a burner, but I think he's losing a little bit of whatever speed he did have. But coming off his best game, seems to have a good rapport with Caleb Williams. I do wonder if a 1 or 2 year re-signing could be on the table for him. We'll talk about that here in just a moment. But first, do want to tell you guys first about our sponsor, PrizePicks, where you can win up to 1,000 times your entry on certain lineups this holiday season. Sign up today at prizepicks.com/CLNS. Use the code CLNS to get a $50 bonus, by the way, when you play initially for just $5. You just set lineups of 2 or more players. You can cross over your sports as well. You can have a football player in your lineup, basketball, hockey player. As long as it's 2 or more players on 2 or more different teams, you are good to go. More players you have in your entries, more payout you can possibly get. A lineup I've already fired away for this week is for the Bears game. Caleb Williams more on his passing yards. And then I took Jackson Smith and Jigba to score a touchdown there as well, more than half a touchdown. He's kind of emerged as Seattle's #1 wide receiver for a little Thursday night action. So 5 to win, just more than $15 with that demon pick. Kind of boosts me a little bit there with JSN. Get started with PrizePicks today at prizepicks.com/CLNS. Use the code CLNS and make some money, have some fun. Pick more, pick less. It's PrizePicks. Okay, you look at Keenan Allen coming off his best game, I thought by a wide margin with the Bears up to this point, 9 for 141 and a touchdown. More than that, though, he made some tough contested catches on a little one-on-one ball down the right sideline, made a nice grab, had a nice catch over the middle. The cover 2 beater where Caleb just threw a frozen rope between the corner and the safety, hit him in stride, went for a 45-yard touchdown. He looked good. He looked really, really good, and we've seen it at times this year. His route running is still there. He can still win one-on-ones in certain matchups. He's not a completely cooked product. He's just had a bit of a drop issue, and more than that, it's just a roster-building standpoint, right? He's 32 years old. You need to bolster your offensive and defensive lines. You drafted Rome Odunze not to be a #3 receiver long-term. You've got DJ Moore under contract, so it's one of these things where it's like, I like Keenan. I'm still open to bringing him back, but A, it cannot impact your roster building to add in the trenches, and B, it's not like he's a make-or-break type of player for you moving forward, in my opinion. Obviously, Caleb likes him. I'm sure if he was asked, he would like to bring Keenan Allen back, but you drafted Rome in the top 10. Like, he's got to be a bigger focal point next year. Also, I don't want to forget about Cole Kmet, a younger player who's under contract as well. And I also wonder this. Does Keenan want to come back here? He'll be 33 next year. He was playing in comfy LA for a while, comfortable conditions. Now he's on a losing team in cold weather. You're hoping to win next year, but no guarantees. I mean, I could see him just going to a southern West Coast warmer team to either A, go to a comfortable place, or B, a place where he can go chase a Super Bowl. Even if the Bears are good next year, they're probably not a Super Bowl contender, especially in this division. Speaking of out west, what if the Rams are willing to bring him in? They might cut Cooper Kupp. They could bring Keenan Allen in on a 1 or 2 year deal, play with Matthew Stafford, go chase a ring. That wouldn't surprise me at all. So we'll see. He speaks highly of Caleb. They seem to get along. I like the player. He obviously was awesome yesterday, but when you brought him in, it was to help Caleb his rookie year, help kind of mentor Rome, and then Rome and DJ kind of take the torch moving forward. Like that was kind of the idea. So it's similar to Tevin. If you get a good price, I'm not close to it, but it cannot impact the Bears' ability to invest in the offensive line whatsoever. That has to be priority number 1. We know Caleb can play. He doesn't need Keenan in addition to DJ and Rome to have success. Would it help? Sure. But if you're asking me, would I rather spend money on an offensive lineman or Keenan Allen, I'm going to take the offensive lineman every time based on what I've seen this year. All right, pick one to re-sign. Maybe they got money for one of these guys. Who would you rather have? Both have flaws for different reasons. Jenkins with the injuries, Keenan Allen with the age and just the roster building of the team. Who would you rather have? TJ for Tevin Jenkins, KA for Keenan Allen. Get your votes in the comment section below. All right, let's talk about Caleb Williams, the quarterback. He actually has a chance to make some history, both with the Bears and with the specific NFL record as well, which is where we'll start this conversation. He's got 326 straight passes without an interception. That's either 6th or 7th all time. I've seen both, so either way, we know what the record is, which is Aaron Rodgers in 2018 went 402 straight passes without an interception. That means Caleb is 77 attempts away. Now, is he going to throw the ball 77 times over the last 2 games? He might, because the Bears trail a lot, but if not, there's a chance this record would have to carry into next year. He, of course, could just throw a pick and end this streak, but kind of crazy that despite all the outside noise, this and that, he's on the cusp. I mean, he's over 100 passes cleared, by the way, from the next rookie in the history of the NFL. It was like 215 or something like that. He's got a chance to set this record as a rookie, which is pretty crazy. And then also the Bears single-season passing yards. It's obviously the only team who's infamously never had a 4,000-yard passer. He's already 6th all-time with 2 games to go. Eric Kramer at 3,838 yards. Caleb up to 3,271. He's going to pass Cutler very quickly there for number 5, and then a couple more Jay Cutler seasons in there as well. He would have to average 284 yards passing over the final 2 games to set the single-season record, which is in play. He's had 4 300-yard games, so if he could get one more of those, that really helps the chances, even if the other game doesn't go as well. So we'll see. I'd give it like a 35-40% chance he sets the single-season record. There's even an outside shot. He could get to 4,000. Now, he'd really have to go nuclear. He'd have to, I think it's like 4,000 minus 3,271. It's like 729. He'd have to throw for like 360 the last 2 weeks. Probably not going to happen, but he could flirt with it depending on how the last couple of games go. So my point about all this is we can debate, we can say what we want. I've acknowledged time and time again, this has been up and down. He's probably been a little more inconsistent this year than I thought he would be. But people on the internet acting like the guy sucks and can't play, it's just you're not watching the games. You're not considering the circumstances. The guy is on his 3rd offensive coordinator, 2nd play caller, and 2nd head coach in his rookie season. And, Keenan Allen has had more drops this year than at any point in his career. The offensive line has crumbled as the season has gone on. The guy just keeps getting back up, keeps making plays. Sure, Jaden Daniels has had a better year. I've acknowledged that as well. I'm not going to concede yet that they made some wrong pick. And if someone else brings up Justin Fields to me again, I just cannot do it anymore. So this whole, Caleb sucks thing is just not true. Doesn't mean he's going to be a 12-year franchise guy for the Bears. But the idea that he can't play, it's just asinine. It's just not accurate. You're not paying attention. Has it been perfect? No. Has it even been consistently good? No. But has he been bad all year? No. He has absolutely not been bad at all. If they didn't have coaching late game mishaps, this is all because of the record. Well, Caleb Williams can't go defend a Hail Mary. Caleb Williams cannot block up front so the field goal doesn't get blocked to beat Green Bay. These are things out of his control. So I'm fine with where he's at. Again, wish it was more consistent. Hoping he finishes strong these last 2 games. But I've seen enough that if you get the right coach in here, this thing can be really, really good and potentially even special in the long term. So just wanted to kind of get that out there because the idea that the kid can't play is just absolutely ridiculous. All right, show Caleb some love. Get the 18s going in the chat. As really, if we're being honest, it's the only reason even worth watching the final 2 games because the defense has just completely collapsed and they can't run the ball. So get the 18s going and appreciate you guys watching. Hit that subscribe button for more Bears content. Bringing you videos every single day here on the channel. My name is Harrison Graham. Happy holidays. We'll see you guys soon.